Do you love movies? Do you love action movies? Do you love unnecessary action in movies? Do you love unnecessary action with an atrocious plot to go alongside with it? Then you will love The Creator, a marvel in VFX, sort of cinematography, and nothing else. The Creator was praised for its visual effects with YouTube videos such as the insane IMAX production of The Creator, or The Creator, the blockbuster movie shot on a $4,000 camera. But do you notice how there isn't much videos praising the story or plot? If you have played Detroit Become Human, then you'll already get the gist of this sci-fi movie about humans versus AI. Wow, the AI just wants to coexist with humans, but the humans are meanies. Except while in Detroit Become Human, the humans were enslaved in AI. In The Creator, they are literally committing genocide. Mostly the US that's committing the genocide. The plot is borderline generic with some of the most Marvel movie sounding lines I have ever heard. I really feel like I'm watching a Marvel movie. Except you actually expect corny lines from a Marvel movie. I was put off by the corny lines from this movie. I'm guessing they were trying to put in some lighter scenes in contrast to the many unnecessary action sequences this movie has, and also trying to double it as a way to move the plot forward, but they failed in that regard. The movie starts with a time-lapse of robotics advancement, before showing that the AI nuked Los Angeles, which really isn't much of a loss. Then we cut to the protagonist and his girlfriend, fiance. We get some stellar dialogue between the two before they get raided by the US. We know this guy's the protagonist because 2 minutes later we found out he's undercover. Dude literally goes, "I'm undercover," while his girlfriend, fiance, walks up behind him.
Listen, I'm undercover. You gotta call off the raid.
Awkward. Anyways, she does the shtick of pointing a gun at him and going, "You've betrayed me, but I'm not going to shoot you because I still love you, I guess." She's helping the androids while Joshua, the protagonist, says some of the most unconvincing lines, such as, "They're not people."
They're not people, Maya. They're not real. This is real. You and I are real.
Like, come on. You know you're dating a person who is extremely pro-AI. So yeah, she doesn't kill him because, I don't know. She runs off with Joshua chasing after her. She then gets fucking nuked by the giant fuck-up space station, which will become the centerpiece of the plot. Also, I feel like Maya, the girlfriend, fiance, being close to Nirmata, the person Joshua is trying to get to, should at least know the capabilities of the US Army, such as the giant fuck-off space station that can launch a bomb. Her comrade should have known better than to literally just drive into the blue hologram projected by the station, literally indicating where the bomb was going to be dropped. Anyways, 5 years later, he works cleaning up the now dilapidated Los Angeles. We get another scene of Joshua being AI phobic.
They're not real, okay? They don't feel shit.
He then reminisces about the past through a piece of paper that somehow projects video. Where is the power source for this paper? Why not just keep your video on your phone or whatever? This future has phones, right? Or is it Fallout-esque, where we only innovated and progressed in certain fields of technology? Anyways, we get a flashback sequence where Joshua sobs over his girlfriend, fiance, and we, the audience, should care, right? But I'm willing to bet no one got emotional over this scene, with the main reason being that we only saw like 5 minutes of them together, and the last scene we saw them together, she literally left him because she found out he's still undercover. I say still because she says he promised he was out.
Told me you were out. You promised.
So did she know he was undercover trying to find Armada, or does she just mean him being in the military? With her hearing Joshua say, "I'm undercover," I'm inclined to say she means he promised he was out of being undercover, which begs the question, why in the world would she have believed him? Did she not try to find out whether he was telling the truth during their whole relationship? Was she just hoping he'd change his mind about AI? Too many questions, none of them answered. Here's an action movie that I'm sure you haven't heard of before. John Wick's first couple of scenes, excluding the Mystique intro, has the protagonist John grieving over his dead wife. Should we, the audience, care about this? No, not really. So if the movie were to have us be emotionally driven by something, it certainly wouldn't be his dead wife. So instead, John Wick gets delivered a dog by his dead wife as a last gift of sorts. We get to see the inception of the dog, John Wick and the dog hanging out, and then finally the loss of the dog. You care more because you got to see the relationship in its entirety. Also, I value dogs more than women. In this movie, we get like 4 scenes, then we're supposed to care about their relationship. So yeah, Joshua then gets called to do another job pertaining to Nirmata by the same people who literally bombed his girlfriend, fiance?
Remember, I lost my wife that night, General.
Oh, his wife. And we expect Joshua to actually accept and do this operation? But oh no, they got a surprise. They reveal Maya is alive. But first of all, why would Joshua believe this? What makes him think they aren't manipulating him to do the operation? And secondly, why Joshua? Surely in 5 years, you must have gotten other agents or soldiers who are now knowledgeable in the mission. But no, it has to be Joshua for some reason. And thirdly, how did you get this footage? Was it some hidden camera? They never explained how they got the footage of Maya, and Joshua doesn't question it. Anyways, he actually accepts doing this mission because of course we need to move the plot forward. When the team gets to the site where the entrance of a supposed laboratory where a secret weapon is located in or wherever, the squad leader takes a fucking gun to a child's dog. Like, what the fuck? This leads to the kid to sort of point to where the hidden switch is, why would this random child know it? I guess it isn't that bad of a cinema sin for the child to know where the switch is, but for Joshua to notice it and guess correctly on the first try? But hey, at least a dog doesn't die. Also, what assholes just letting this guy actually threaten to kill the dog?
Where's the entrance?
We are just farmers.
Cut the bullshit!
The movie's trying so hard to make the US the bad guys and the simulants the good guys that it raises no points or questions that are even remotely morally or ethically gray. It's just, yeah, the US are literally genociding, the simulants are genuinely real people, and that's as deep as we're going to get. So after that we get some generic action.
Please make love to yourself, and also make love to your mother.
Also, this movie fucking sucks.
Then Joshua finds a secret ultra weapon, which is a child. Joshua then gets shot. The child gets told to find Narmada.
Go find Narmada!
And the woman who shot Joshua just leaves? Like, aren't you going to make sure the guy who just broke into your facility and now found your top secret ultra weapon child is down? She just runs off immediately. How about you aid in helping this child find Narmada? Why are you running off?
Right now, move! Come on!
I can make it.
Why do I care if she makes it or not? Anyways, the entire squad dies because she carries a bomb onto the ship. Like, who cares? Also, it would have been in character for this guy to just throw her off the ship. Like, that actually would have made sense in lore since these US soldiers are just depicted to be absolute shithead assholes.
Most of these locks, they work through facial recognition.
Guess I just need a face then, huh?
The giant fuck-off space station drops a bomb and Joshua gets swept up by the shockwave, while the kid gets some wind blown in their direction. Like, the kid's pretty close, yet she just stands there while Joshua runs for his fucking life. Next chapter, Joshua wakes up in a boat. Did he get on the boat himself? I'm assuming the child put him there, but why then? Joshua finds one of his comrades. Then they, including the weapon child, hole up inside a house. Joshua then gets a call from his commanding officer. A ringtone which definitely should not be that loud. Like, no way this ringtone is that loud. Joshua gets told to kill the kid and he's about to do it when he sees a sketch the child has drawn.
Where'd you see that? Hey!
And then the simulant, who definitely shouldn't have been able to hear the ringtone, barges in and tells Joshua to drop his weapon. The simulant afterwards drops his guard and weapon, letting Joshua get the upper hand, which he doesn't use to his advantage. He just listens in and waits until they can do a dramatic tense, "Oh my god, who shot who" scene. Of course, Joshua succeeds because he's the main character. Like, the simulant then does the bit of being like, wait, what? I'm shot? Then kneels over after a few seconds. But I mean, like, come on. If you just pull a fucking trigger like once before dying, you can absolutely still kill Joshua. Instead of doing this ridiculous bit of attempting to subvert the audience's expectations, either have the simulant attempt to do something in his last few seconds of life left, or just have him drop dead instantly. No one is fooled by this. Joshua questions the child about Narmada before the child uses her ability to detect the robot police are nearby.
Police.
I guess this is excusable since she is an ultra weapon. It might make sense for her to have abilities like that. Joshua attempts to get the weapon child onto the car with the most cringe dialogue ever.
I'll drive fast. All right, let's go.
Whether purposeful or not, it doesn't matter because Joshua doesn't need to convince the child to do anything. He could just carry her onto the car, which it actually does before getting shot at by the police. What cool procedure, by the way, from the police. They literally just start shooting into the house without ascertaining who's inside. If they knew who's inside, then they'd also know that there is a simulant child inside. So it would be pretty stupid to be blindly firing into the house considering the fellow simulant. I feel like that's a really long duration on the grenade. So long, in fact, a fucking dog fetches it and brings it back to the RoboCops. Like, okay. The child starts to car up and a pair, I don't know, trio, escape. The simulants here look like they're still functioning, maybe for a little while before they die, but still functioning. Yet when that other simulant got shot with a plain hole in the chest, dude dies in 5 seconds. Like, come on, where's the consistency here? Anyways, the guy Joshua rescued earlier starts threatening his life, telling him to go back, but he's threatening the guy who's driving?
Back to base.
I can't do that. The next American base is 400 miles away.
Joshua is literally the only person who can take you to places. If you kill him, no one would be able to drive you anywhere. Anyways, it doesn't matter because he looks at the child for a few seconds and then dies whatever bullshit injuries he sustained. Like, whatever.
Your new name's Alfie, you understand?
What's your name?
None of your damn business.
Their car breaks down and another car full of people drive by. Joshua, for some reason, tries to hide Alfie being a simulant.
If they ask, Pretend that you're human, all right? Pretend like you're a real person.
Like, we never know whether this group actually hates simulants, and we get a shot of Joshua walking towards them with his gun held behind him. I guess symbolizing Joshua's willingness to stab this group behind their back or betray them or whatever. But in reality, it just begs the question of what is Joshua expecting? Also, it's just stupid to be holding your gun behind your back like that. One small misstep and they'll catch a glimpse of your pistol. But it's not like they're gonna do anything, because literally in the movie, nothing happens between Joshua, Alfie, and this group. Oh yeah, these two who were part of the squad were captured.
Tough day at the office?
They managed to escape by choking the simulant. Simulants don't breathe, right? Why would they need oxygen to function? The second this guy starts driving this police car, country music starts playing.
Missed my turn!
There's country radio in the middle of bumfuck nowhere in New Asia. The pair find a truck left by Joshua, revive the dead guy by copying his currently dead brain. Then the copied dead brain is pasted onto an already dead simulant. How does this revive the simulant? Is it meant to be implied the simulant wasn't really killed but just deactivated or put into sleep mode or whatever? But then why did we hear 2 gunshots? I'll just say for the sake of brevity and benefit of doubt that this simulant was just sleeping and they reactivated it by replacing the brain. Sure. But then why is it that you can only get 30 seconds of life if you literally manage to revive him?
We'll be lucky to get 30 seconds.
He doesn't seem that brain damaged to me.
Don't talk to my wife.
Shipley, you're already dead. I'm sorry, son. Truly. But there is no time. The whole war is in the balance.
She says they'd be lucky if he lasts 30 seconds when she deduced he's been dead for a few hours, implying it's the condition of the brain being dead for a duration that's affected how long he can be alive for before dying. Is it the simulant body or the brain that dies first? A better solution to killing this guy off while still having him give the information is for the pair to just execute the simulant after hearing what they needed to hear. It'd show how despite this simulant now being their once was dead friend slash comrade, they still despise simulants so much they'd rather kill their comrade than let him live as a simulant. But just make up some bullshit about how he dies after telling the necessary information.
Mount up. We got a traitor to kill.
Joshua and the smuggled Alfie arrive at the checkpoint, I guess, without any complications with the driver and passengers of the van. In fact, it seems like the driver knows about the importance of Alfie and Joshua's mission, but we never saw this development occur in the whole movie and it's not mentioned.
I butchered the original question, so I'll ask this one. I like asking this of every director. Did you have a much longer cut?
Yeah, the first cut was just under 5 hours. It was under 5 hours. I always wanted to make a 2-hour movie. Star Wars is pretty much that. I didn't want to like outstay my welcome and do it was really a game of Jenga, like what can we remove from the film and it not fall to pieces? We played it to a bunch of people. Everyone disagreed about what they thought was right and wrong. Test screening said when that happens, it tends to mean it's too long. So we cut 15 minutes out, got it down to 2 hours, played it again, and it did way, way better. And it was a strange lesson in how can you take things out we love and then it be better? You know, it didn't make sense, but
this is mainly why this movie feels so fast-paced. This movie goes through an encompassing story designed for 5 hours, apparently shrunk down to 2 hours, and it didn't feel like they've rewritten the story to fit in 2 hours. They just kept the story as is but trimmed the fat. And by trim the fat, I mean the fat in the goddamn organs. It needs more than just scenes loosely connected to one another. Anyways, this police guy, whom I'm presuming knows about the wanted status and face of Alfie and Joshua, inspects the vehicle. Of course, for a dramatic tense moment, the guy just hyper-focuses on Alfie, telling her to remove her beanie. But I mean, come on, you can clearly see she's a simulant. That beanie ain't hiding shit. Alfie causes a blackout, and this should be a great opportunity to start driving away, but the car shuts off too. Then when everything is back on, that's when they start driving off. And no one was harmed, nor did the car look damaged at all. So what was the point of the blackout? It didn't give time for them to drive off because the second Joshua took control of the wheel, police immediately start firing at them. And it seems like there's no police after them once they've passed a checkpoint. Like what, did the fucking police just give up after 2 seconds?
Anyone have fun?
Joshua keeps pressuring Alfie, asking where Maya, Joshua's wife, is, before actually just threatening Alfie.
You know what? How about I call my friend in Lilac City, all right? I'll call him right now. Tell him to get his crowbar ready, pry it open, get the information that way. You want that?
So yeah, Alfie just doesn't do anything. She's basically emotionless and wavering throughout almost this whole movie. Then we get a heart-to-heart scene between a pair which I don't really buy because since the beginning of the movie, Joshua has done nothing but threaten, insult, and basically forcefully attempt to make the child give out information. There weren't any wholesome, friendly moments leading to this major turning point in the relationship. So if this is meant to be the absolutely first turning point in the relationship, then it wasn't effective. Joshua and Alfie are just walking out in the open with their faces faces get projected onto a huge screen, and Joshua doesn't really react to it. I mean, at least try covering up your face or whatever. Why are you still walking around conspicuously? You're literally a black man in Asia lugging an Asian child with you. Does you really think people won't take notice, especially when there's pictures of the pair's face on wanted lists? So yeah, one guy takes notice because obviously Joshua is not careful at all.
Alfie, this is Drew, the asshole.
Hello, asshole.
They meet the friend and talk about how Alfie's information about Maya or Namada is encrypted.
Can you get it out of her?
She's touch encrypted. If you ain't Armada, you ain't getting in.
Then Joshua's friend reveals how Alfie will eventually grow alongside of her hacking/blackout abilities.
Josh, that's the most advanced sim I've ever seen in my life. This kid's different, man. You said she can control things? The range of her powers will grow too. Eventually, she'll be able to control all technology remotely.
Remember this information. It'll get absolutely shit on later in the movie.
What do you want, sweetie?
For robots to be free.
Oh, we don't have that in the fridge.
The friend then asks if anyone saw Joshua.
Did anybody see you come here?
Which leads to the police raiding their quarters due to the consequence of someone seeing Joshua. Wow, nice segue there. I've got to say though, the CGI is excellent. Honestly reminiscent of Blade Runner City in terms of aesthetic and feel, but you can't really get immersed if you're just emotionally unattached to the characters who inhabit this world.
Tell me about Joshua, Alfie.
He's funny. We play a game called Save Your Friend Joshua from being killed by the fucking police.
Wait. Hold on a second. Joshua did not say fucking.
It's called Save Your Friend Joshua from getting killed by the freaking police.
What's up with that? So anyways, Joshua's friend's girlfriend, fiance, picks up ice cream for Alfie, which was set up from this previous dialogue scene. But it turns out it was the police who delivered the ice cream, and they put a fucking bomb inside the ice cream. What's up with the police in this movie just doing the most unsafe, uncaring actions? What if there were people uninvolved in the operation? Are you just going to fucking blow them up? Anyway, she dies after just looking at the bomb for a good few 3 seconds. Like, come on. First of all, continuity. You can't hear the bomb ticking until you actually see it, which makes no sense.
Tell me your favorite. Which one do you want off?
Nor can you see any orange glowing until again you see it. Secondly, the explosion is pretty small. So what was the point? Just to kill this one person? It would have made more sense if it was an effective flashbang or whatever. Thirdly, throw the goddamn bomb away! Don't do this stupid bit of saying a one-liner. React to the bomb in front of you! There's this cop guy who I thought was doing like a Connor bit from Detroit Become Human, where his memories are retained every time he dies, which would have been an interesting character plot to watch, but nah, this is the last time we see him, which makes me think it wasn't really a Connor bit. I don't know, maybe it was, but it got trimmed, we'll never know. Joshua at the last second before Alfie gets EMP'd goes goddamn John Wick and somehow survives this fight. Also Alfie, despite having what I thought was a turning point in her relationship with Joshua, in this situation doesn't do anything to help. Hey Alfie, I thought you could shut off electrical things. Why not shut off these robot cops? She literally does nothing while Joshua fights for his life. Anyways, Joshua witnesses his friend grieving over his dead simulant girlfriend, fiance, which I'm pretty sure is meant to be an eye-opening moment for Joshua. A moment where he starts to realize maybe simulants are truly human. Wow. We don't get any dialogue or anything else. Like, Jesus, this movie is way too fast-paced. The police arrive and what a surprise, they're not there. The music seriously builds up to this scene, like they'd believe we'd be so uncertain in whether or not the trio are going to escape. Like, of course they are going to escape, because otherwise there wouldn't be a plot! These two, Joshua's ex-commanding officer and her lackey, are disguised as police and somehow kill the rest of the squad with these laser guns. Despite them wearing body armor, it does not look like it penetrates at all. So what is it doing? Warming them up? She says hack everything, which I'm assuming is the writer's excuse for the pair to know exactly where Joshua and friends are heading next, which is the old beach house that Joshua and his wife Maya lived in. Why is he wearing a spacesuit here? Was it legitimately a nuclear bomb that was dropped or just bad air? I mean, it isn't really a problem if he just doesn't fucking take it off like a minute later, completely negating the need for a spacesuit. Joshua finds the ring Maya wore that they were tracking.
What about the ring you gave?
What ring?
You know the ring I gave Maya? You still got the tracker for it?
Josh, he's gone, man.
No, I saw footage of it.
Stop, man.
I saw the ring.
Then Joshua, freaking out because Maya isn't there, asks Alfie again where his wife is.
She is. Okay, just tell me where she is, I'll leave you alone forever, okay? Tell me where she is! Whatever you are, just tell me she's alive.
But this time Alfie starts crying? Like, what caused this? Joshua actually apologizing to Alfie is fine, but Alfie crying now doesn't make sense. Joshua's friend comes running, then gets shot in the back. Oh wow, they actually show a hole where the bullet? Blaster beam penetrated. Then Joshua's friend, his name's Drew. I just thought it'd be funny if I kept referring to him as Joshua's friend. He starts truth dumping on Joshua like the second before he dies. Maya is actually Nirmata. Like, couldn't you have told Joshua this before you all ventured out here? You should have told him this after you seceded from the US into New Asia. But nah, Drew just kept quiet until the second he dies. Honestly, this plot twist is shit. Mainly because we're supposed to believe Joshua was investigating Maya the whole time while they were together. They can't use Maya being one step ahead of Joshua as an excuse because she was surprised when she found out he's still undercover. Drew dies, Joshua runs off, gets surrounded by some simulants, and Alfie doesn't even fucking do or say anything. She's still, after all these emotional moments with Joshua, doesn't do anything! Help Joshua! What are you doing? Where's the supposed bond? This guy explains to Joshua what no one else even slightly hinted at earlier in the movie.
She was taking me to Maya.
After her father died, Maya became the next Nirmata.
He then starts to execute Joshua of the reason that the US government are following him so they can get to Nirmata. Okay, that's fair enough. But right before dude executes Joshua with a suppressor for some reason, what's the point? Isn't everyone on this boat, excluding Alfie, hostile towards Joshua? Some bullshit to keep Joshua from getting executed occurs when the giant fuck-off space station makes an appearance.
What's up? They're attacking our base.
Joshua, with the help of Alfie finally, uses this distraction to escape. But I'm wondering why Alfie didn't do more before this. When we, the audience, believed Alfie and Joshua have bonded further and the relationship strengthened, does Alfie still do nothing for Joshua? Alfie in this movie does not act on her own will. Alfie does not have any of that sweet character relatability to get attached to. She's just a child that occasionally says some things related to freeing AI or making simulants free or whatever. Or she just watches TV silently. This is not an interesting character to be invested in. If she at least seem attached to other characters, we could say she is more than just utility for other people in the movie. It would have made more sense if she at least attempted to stop the old simulant guy from killing Joshua, but nah, she's nowhere to be seen. So much for those bonding moments. So Joshua escapes but stays with the floating ship. Why is this ship floating on the surface of this lake, by the way? It's buoyancy despised in the future. Anyways, Joshua eavesdrops on the old man simulant and he talks about how Alfie can be used to destroy the giant fuck-off space station, but his plan is to literally get Alfie onto the station and destroy it from within, which possibly could kill Alfie herself. But again, in the same scene, he stated Alfie's range of power is growing.
She can stop it?
She's not ready yet. The range of her powers are still growing, but if we can get her up there, maybe she can destroy it.
Why is he so quick to risk this potentially soon-to-be omnipotent asset into destroying this one giant fuck-off space station? Also for the US, what's with this space station doing all your bombing? Whatever happened to good old drone strikes or missile launches? I feel like a slow-moving giant space station in the sky is far easier to detect and react to than a few missiles from another continent or quick-moving drones. You could see the space station coming at you and just pack up and leave. That's what those goddamn people at the outpost earlier should have done. Where was the giant fuck-off space station lookout guy in that situation?
Soon, our savior is coming with the power to end all wars. We will finally be free, and our two species will live together in peace.
Why is this robot or really any of these guys speaking English? Is this not Asia? Joshua sneaks in and snatches Alfie from the old man simulant, but instead of killing him, he just puts him in standby mode, which I guess is okay character development. What isn't okay character development is Alfie still doing nothing. Alfie needs to have opinions of her own. She acts like a robot, which is funny considering the goddamn premise of the movie. What is this simulant smoking? Do simulants really have lungs? Why? Also, I just realized what this simulant is watching. What, Atomic Heart? So yeah, this village is getting raided with Joshua and Alfie trying to escape. This honestly looks like a video game cutscene. I'm half expecting after this sequence to get handed control of a simulant so I can start killing humans. Doesn't sound half bad for a Battlefield-esque game, but unfortunately this is still a movie. Alfie, witnessing the wrath of the goddamn US Army, now wants to help.
I have to help.
There's nothing we can do.
I have to help.
Alfie, we gotta go.
Where was this desire to help when your pal Joshua was in danger? What the hell? But how did that small of a bomb destroy this big of a tank? I feel like that's a major oversight in design.
2, 1, go! Go!
Command confirmed. Goodbye, ma'am. It's been a pleasure to serve you.
Launch! Launch!
Why are they sending bomber androids against the simulants? Haven't they learned their lesson handing robots the power of destruction? Also, again, why not just launch some missiles or the classic grenade launch? This is an overly complicated way to deliver explosives to a hostile area. Why not send your giant fuck-off space station over to this location and drop a bomb that way? You certainly don't have a problem with potential civilian casualties, and people clearly can't foresee the giant-ass space station heading towards them. Alfie stops this bomber android and Lackey Guy heads onto the bridge to capture Alfie alone, I guess. Why just him? Then Joshua too climbs onto the bridge and tries to retrieve Alfie when he gets told by Lackey Guy to get down.
Taylor, get down! No!
Didn't earlier the commanding officer call Joshua a traitor?
We got a traitor to kill.
Did Lackey Guy not get the memo or something? He was literally fucking standing next to her when she stated that. Thanks for that off-camera kill, by the way. Very PG-13 of you. Joshua finally escapes with Alfie by his side, headed for the temple where his wife is. Then this simulant spills the beings to the commanding officer so she can know again exactly where they're headed next. We then have a flashback sequence showing Maya getting intimate and open with Joshua about the humanity in simulants, which makes me think maybe Joshua should have had his mind changed on simulants a long time ago.
She cannot return. She cannot depart. Death must bring her rebirth.
So Joshua then finds out Maya, aka Nirmata, has been in a coma for 5 years, which means they were lying about Maya being alive and well. But Joshua just doesn't mention this at all. Well, she's in a coma, but what about cloning her brain to a simulant? If cloning a dead brain onto a dead simulant somehow works, then surely Maya could be uncomatosed. Even a simple mention from the simulant monk about how brain transfer didn't work, or that they don't have the technology, which would then make putting Nirmata down ridiculous, since if they value Nirmata so much, they should be trying to steal the tech from the US so they can revive her. But nay, just put her down, then let's get some more action. Wow, I love action.
She's gone.
Not until I say so.
Are you playing God now?
The old simulant guy barges in with a mine launcher, has 3 people telling him to put it down, actually legitimately puts it down for a sec, and doesn't get shot down, then fires it before getting shot with a hole through his chest, which somehow doesn't kill him? What makes this hole in the chest different from the other hole in the chest with the other simulant?
Shit! Get it off! Get it off!
Get it off! Get this thing off me!
Hold on! Come on! The weapon's whipped!
No, wait!
Joshua gets escorted by some US soldiers. Alfie and him get separated and we get, I presume, a small time jump, where Joshua somehow is still on good terms with the US, despite killing a fellow comrade and defying orders from command. His commanding officer definitely called him a traitor, yet no one here cares.
We tried to terminate the weapon cleanly, but she won't let us. So either you help us, or our other methods will be unimaginably painful.
Why does the military care about killing this child cleanly? They certainly don't care about killing innocent simulants, so what's different with this simulant? What other methods will be unimaginably painful? Is a simple shut-off unimaginably painful? Or how about a shot to the head? Why does Joshua himself have to use his EMP gun? Why not just EMP that entire room? Of course, it's written like this so the writers can do a segue to Alfie and Joshua escaping, but honestly, a better solution would have been jailing Joshua and Alfie in this facility, having Alfie use her hacking ability to communicate to Joshua and help him get to Alfie and have to both sneak off to escape, with some guy finding out a bit later and alerting everyone, leading to the next sequence. This would demonstrate that Joshua and Alfie now trust each other completely, realizing their relationship to its full. Instead, Joshua just gets handed an EMP gun, walks over to Alfie and looks at her for a moment, trying his hardest to subvert the audience's expectations. But of course he doesn't kill her.
What do you say? What's happening?
It's just interference. The EMP device is charging.
She just gets put into standby mode. But for some reason, they don't do further analysis into Alfie. I would make sure definitively she is dead, but they just trust the process. So later in the ambulance ride, the general gets told by some guy to decode what was said between Joshua and Alfie before he shot her, because the CCTV was experiencing interference. But guys said they decoded the footage, and when we look back at the scene in question, it just looks like the monitors was being flickered and audio was being fucked up. So this begs the question, what the fuck did you decode? If the footage was corrupted during that interference, then how did you manage to get such a crisp 1-to-1 recovery free from the corrupted footage. If it was fine and it was just the monitors plus speakers being interfered, why didn't they immediately view the footage afterwards to see what Joshua said? If it was actually encoded for some reason and not corrupted, then that would mean it was the doing of Alfie. How did she know that Joshua would say something important that needed to be kept a secret? Why would she encode instead of just actually destroying the footage? The general finds out last second, so Joshua and Alfie make their great escape by crashing the ambulance and somehow instantly getting onto the highway above. How did they do that? Also, you can literally see people already out of their vehicles by the time Joshua and Alfie are on top of the ambulance. But after 2 cuts, they're already gone. Alfie and Joshua make it onto a space plane. Alfie hacks the plane and can somehow pilot it, so they dock and everyone on board except the pair leaves.
Spacesuit's missing. Wait, eyes on that set. He's gonna blow the door! Pull back, pull back!
The guards see Joshua about to open the airlock hatch, with one of them literally having his weapon pointed at Joshua. Yet, instead of firing, he just runs away. What?
You gotta stop them from launching the missiles. You go turn the power off so I can blow this place up. Mother, this is what she wanted.
So can't Alfie just simply hack the space station from this location or at least nearby? I'm pretty sure there's many nodes of access around the station and not just in the middle. There's no other reason Alfie can't just cause a blackout and destabilize the station from this location, except the writers wanted more action. So Joshua's plan is to blow up a missile that's on the space station while Alfie runs for the control room. Just more action for the finale. So here's the control room. How does Alfie know it's the control room? Why the fuck is it just a random looking room with a hologrammed Earth spinning in the center? Why aren't there people at the control room? Oh my god. So she just sits there and for fucking some reason she can cause a blackout now. Like, she just has to like run across the station. That's what the writers wanted. Joshua plants the bomb and both start heading back to the emergency shuttle. Alfie finds a Maya simulant and does what those stupid ass simulants looking after Namada should have done a long time ago. But oh no, it doesn't work. So Alfie gives a kiss and runs off to save Joshua. Why is security footage of the US space station being streamed live on TV?
No! No! Alfie!
Alfie! Joshua saves Alfie from getting grabbed from this thing by closing the airlock. Alfie looks at Joshua for a good minute before finally helping. Joshua realizes the airlock can't be open for some reason, and we get pretty good acting between the two.
No!
It's okay. It's okay. I'm going to heaven.
No!
I'll meet you there.
No!
I'm going because of you.
I don't want you to go! I want to be with you!
Too bad this movie fucking sucks shit and these two have had a relationship built on the weak script. So the scene isn't effective, unfortunately. Joshua walks around a giant fuck-off space station. Can't you at least try to find another emergency shuttle? But whatever, he finds Maya, who is now awake. Did the kiss activate her or something? The two have the last moments. Old man simulant from before is happy, Alfie is alive, and then the movie ends. What a horribly mediocre movie. The reason for the title is looking at the movie as just a movie, it's mediocre, with the CGI and cinematography trying its hardest to distract you from its flaws. Looking at the movie as a sci-fi action movie, I think it's the worst action movie I've ever watched. Honestly, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Is that foreshadowing? Hey, go follow me on Twitch, I might stream there sometimes. Maybe. About games that I might make into videos, who knows? Only 15% of you who've watched the video are left now, so whatever. I think it's gonna be like 2% now, and then 1%, and then 0%. Okay, no one's watching now.
Oh yeah, mining. I love mining, guys. I'm such a... No, Irina, don't say that.